Okay. Go ahead and get started. Eight. Zoom in. When I go about compost the rain. This was still necessary to ensure how to congregate the length of the building. Okay, we'll start with this side. A little bit more straightforward part. So I see some contours connected incorrectly in this area. Let's see. That's 10, 10, 11. So this is the label. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the 112 label. That needs to go connecting to the middle of this. So 1, 2 goes like this. Okay, that's correct. 1, 2 goes out here, 3 goes out there. We'll take a look at the that's the 13. So 13 would actually go connecting to the 13 here. The other 13, that's your 13. That one can go, no, it doesn't have to connect because you don't have to have a curve there. So this line can be removed. Let me try to take a look at 12. 12 looks okay. Okay, so 13 and 12 will look like this. Then I'll clear here. So about the divergence swell. Download this example. And so this is correct, very well done for the example that it's given to you. These are let's see. These are showing correctly that the tip of the V-shaped tip of the V-shaped contour of the swell kind of go beyond the same contour of the bioretention. So that's our goal here. For you, this doesn't need to be dragged this way that much and then come back. Okay, it will be something like this. I started to mark up when you sent me the email, and I ended up having not enough time to finish that one. Let me show you what I did. Sorry. So this area, the blue is the retention. Okay, the blue is the retention. You need one at the end of the turnaround area, and that one needs to have a DI or an RDI. And then the other cells upstream don't need to have a DI or RDI. They would be in between the two contours, okay? And then the you know, the curb contour will attach in the middle, right? So shaping, so the green and the orange and the red, they would shape the spaces in between, and that space become the retention. And then basically you would drag the same number of contour. If this is 1109, that is also 1109. And you drag the tip of the orange contour now to be about the same distance or about the same location to the blue retention area. So that's what needs to be done in this area. So I marked up 08, 9, and 10, and 11. Let's take a look at the 12, okay? So for this area, we would have 13, that's 13, and then 12, that's 13. Water will basically, okay, it will drain toward the retention area or the divergent swell area. So yes, your 12 will do something like this. Okay, your 12 is in a correct location. We'll just need to modify to make sure these distances are in correct or more than 4 feet apart. And then your swell will basically be this whole pretty long one. Change the blue. So it will start with 12. It will change a little bit of direction, and then it will continue to go down. And then from this, the first portion can be a little bit steeper, and then this portion can be flatter, right? You could have 2 or even 3 slopes. Having a slope break at some point here, and having another slope break at some point here. As you remove off these divergent swell, I expect that the slope will start to become more gentle. Okay, so this is the divergent swell. Go back to the marking here. Let's take a look at this area. Should this be combined, or if they should converge when they get to the end? I don't think it needs to in your case. The reason being, you know, if I scroll down, your plaza swell or your plaza retention is over here. So your plaza swell, it basically ends when it enters the retention. And then your the last retention necessary is in this area. You have another one somewhere over here in between 2 contours, but you don't need the swell, or you do not need a retention in this area anymore. That's not necessary. So you can basically end your swell somewhere here, and then this swell will be intercepted by the retention for the plaza. So you don't need to connect these 2, okay? All right, so next one, we'll take a look at the contours on the ramp. I'll send my markup here to you. Maybe I should do it now. Well, later. Okay, after I get through. Okay, now let's take a look at the ramp. Okay, we need a little bit of pavement. We need some pavement connecting the ramp and the plaza. So at least we need the plaza to be extended like this, right? So that you can walk into this area and then go into the ramp and go into that. It's a little hard to connect your contour in this case because you have your ramp basically being horizontal and align with the contours in a horizontal manner, but instead you want the slope to go kind of along the ramp, which is going kind of against the the original contour shape, but it should still be okay. You should still be able to connect them, but it will just make it a little bit harder. I'll use your example to show you how you could connect it just based on your current base map. Let's zoom out a little bit, and then we'll need to figure out these elevations. So suppose we have this extended. Okay, we have the pavement extended, and this whole thing is 2%. This whole thing will be following the contour here. Okay, now we'll just need to calculate the elevation at this location, at these locations, based on its relationship with this imaginary contour. If there's no building, and if there's no stairs, what would that elevation be? That's one way to calculate it. Okay, that's not the only way, but it might be the easiest way to calculate it. So your 1107, so this would be about 1106.6, something like that. From this point on, you'll go down 5%, right? 5%, it will be 12 feet. Then you measure about 12 feet down to get your 1106 contour. So suppose that my 1106 contour is somewhere here. Okay, if this is your 1106, my goal is to connect the 1106 to your 1106 design over here. Okay, if your swale line 1107 goes up like this and go back to 1107, your 1106, and you would want this area to be still more than 2%. So your 06 might have to be coming up like this and then going down, and then connect that, and then connect this. Okay, this one seems, well, there's flexibility where the 6 can be. You could have 6 there. You could even make this whole area pretty flat. So then your 6 can be back, following the kind of the original 2%, the 50 feet from the 7 and 2 sevens there. Okay, so your 6 can be like that, and then we will draw. Then you offset by 20, right? 5% offset by 20, and then you follow the same thing. And from this point on, you could be, you don't have to stick to any, 2% slope or anything, or the 5, as long as this area is over 2. However, it is easier to connect the ramp contour to 105. You would basically, try a few things, and then this looks like it's so far it's working. If later on we found, oh, some places got tight, and then we can start, adjusting. Okay, so that's 5. We keep going for 4. Your 4 is down here, so looks like it's going to be like that. Makes sense? And then 2, drag it up, and then now you can start to see or expect where would things get tight. This area later on, right? So the shape of your ramp might need to be changed a little bit, so that in this area, when I get down to, so I'm 5, 4, 3, if I'm at 2, sorry, I didn't measure anything, so the estimate might not be correct at all. The 12, the 2, it's also okay for it to go, on the ramp in multiple places. That's fine. But then, if you have 2 at this location, your 1 will be down based on this location, right? Your 1 would need to be down from that location for 20 feet. So it's better if you change your shape of the ramp, basically creating more room and avoiding the contour 2 to appear on multiple or to turn on the ramp itself. Okay, but that's the process of finding out where the contours are on the ramp and start connecting them. Okay, so let me try to save this. And let's talk about the back of the building. Okay. So we definitely need more contours here, because we're trying to get back to 1096. And some of these contours, because even though they are, it's not necessary to move them substantially, but you can see some of these contours are not hitting the wall diagonally. So at least that needs to be changed, right? So, but the first thing we need to look at is actually the FFEs. So you have FFE here, 1097, 1097. No, all these are correct. And we'll just need to figure out how 1097 connects back to the ramp or the wall. So here you're actually down to 1090. Oh, okay. Your ramp can actually be longer. If you need space, you don't have to connect to the start of the plaza. You can connect to the lower area, okay? Basically doing this will make your life a lot more easier. And then the wall will continue somehow. Well, it depends on the elevation you're connecting to. So if the ramp connect to here, you would calculate the red dot elevation based on your plaza. So that looks like it's 109, for instance, 1097.3. Okay. And then if that's the case, your 1097 or 1098 will be somewhere here. Okay. The 1098 will be there. That's your 1098. And that contour needs to be connected. So this is 0, 9, and 8. So your 8 somehow, now if this is 9 and that's 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, looks like you have enough space, but I didn't measure, right? But no, if you don't have enough space, you basically just lengthen the contour, the ramp length, and then start connecting them. If this is 9, we'll try to start with 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 2 looks like something that probably goes like this, and 1 will be something like that, and then 0, and then 9, and then 8, and then 7. 7 is over here. So your 7 would be going up like this, and then connect out and through. Okay, and then the 6 can stay here. 6, as long as the distance here doesn't exceed 50 feet, which it doesn't look like it exceeds. So your ramp contour will like that. Okay. And now I will clear, and then I will move forward to the other side. Okay. So 1097 is over here. Your 01, let's see. I have 07, 06. I'm trying to find out where 06 is. Your 07 goes like that. That's my building. No, that's my building. And is that Let's see. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. So you crossed over the building. So 07, it's like this. And then 06 needs to be, again, 50 feet. You couldn't drag it to the lower side. The reason being, otherwise I'm going below 2%. Okay. So that is my 6. Okay, now I will have another 5. My 5 being here seems pretty reasonable. Okay, because this doesn't look like it's exceeding or falling below 5, or 2%, sorry. That's my 5. Your 5 doesn't look like it has to cut through, now it could actually connect with the trees. Oh, well, unless it's, okay, you're correct. You have 2 little 5s. Otherwise, that area will fall below 2%. Now, 4 honestly doesn't need to be moved much. You could make 4 stay where it is. This looks perfectly fine, this original location. Okay. And 3, you can just tilt the tail a little bit. 2, 1, 0, 9, 8, 7. Well, I may have done it a little more dramatically. We don't actually need to move that much. You could move just the tail of it. And then I have 7 over here. So yes, my wall will be there and my 6 kind of connects. So on this side, you only need to shape the tail a little bit more diagonally to the wall, and that's it. Okay. All right. So let me that out again. Those are all the questions that I see. This area works fine. A little bit too close here. That's a little too close. Otherwise, it's fine. You could move it like that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Any more? Okay, cool. Let me actually take. Oh, have I been muted all the whole time? Shouldn't be. I don't think so. Hopefully not. Oh my gosh. If I do a little, yes, we need a bio there. How do you array around the curve? Probably can't get it to be along the actual path to get it the correct distance. For this one, I would probably not use array. I would actually, because it turns, the direction turns. So you would actually measure along the steeper side, 20 feet along the steeper side. And on the other side, it could be more, you have flexibility because that side is gentler, right? That slope is less than 5%. And then you would just turn contours in whichever way makes it easier to attach to the original contour. Okay, so I wouldn't use array on this one. And then some of the contours still need to turn so that they don't direct water to the wall, but those are the marked up ones. We'll take a look at the ADA here. Okay, so you have ADA. Your ADA looks fine in the current area, but I'm not sure it has enough space. These should be 3 spaces for 2, right? So yeah, that seems like not 3 just yet. So you might want to extend the parking lot to the side a tad, or to the other side. That's okay too. Now to the left should be okay. Now you would find that space. ADA ramp for your solution, you would actually do the second option. You would do the curb, one line here. That's where the curb is removed. And then here there are 2 lines because you're having a short wall over here. The ramp goes like this. Okay, so your direction be going down and going down. So the folks parking at these areas will get off here and then roll up here and then roll up there and to the plaza. Other folks walking along the sidewalk will go down and then go to the landing and then go up. Okay, so on the canvas, there is I think I re-uploaded the ramp guidelines from 233 to 235 to here. That's the other ramp. Well, did I upload the 235 ramp? I remember showing during our last review, but I can show you. It's the second option instead of the first option. Okay. All right. So that is about the ramp. Let's take a look at retention. Your swell centerline goes into, I remember we had to modify the contours a little bit based on your center line, right? Do you remember? Yes, yeah. We based on your swell center line here, if that's your swell center line, then your contour look like this, hitting the curb, but no, suppose it didn't, then the other portion would be like this, right? So I'm gonna erase that one. So you would have this and along the curve and then go the other way. So your retention would be in this area. Okay, all right. Okay. You can end your swell line here and your swell line here. Remove this portion of your swell line. Okay. All right. So here, that one. For this area, you would measure 20 around here, and then this little segment of the contour on the other side, you can rotate it based on the difficulty or ease to connect back to contours on the north side. Okay. Okay. Anything else you want to? Okay. It might be a little overgraded in the top. Let's see. So we have 13, a little bit too close here. So we can do something like this. That's the 13. And then your 12 goes up 12 is, another 12 is here. And that is 11. 11 goes down here. 12. And then 13, let me take a look. Thirteen is connecting back here. So let's try to rotate that one. This one. That. Ah. So the reason that I'm tilting this is I'm trying to avoid changing 14. I don't think 14 needs to be changed. So my 13, let me start over here. My 13 can go something like this, and then connect back to my 13 over here. 13, it's not severely changed, graded in this area, and it probably not necessarily to do. Okay. So 13 can do this, and then your 12 can be curved so that I have a curved center line for the first portion. Basically, I'm trying to form this pattern. My 14 then doesn't need to change at all. Okay? Yeah, you don't have to calculate this portion. And then 14 can stay where it is. Okay. So that's the anything else? Contours align the left side of, oh yeah. These they need to hit the wall in this manner, right? Yeah. So they cannot direct the water to the wall. So far it looks like it's along the wall. It's along the wall. Okay. All right. Cool. Any okay, good. Good. Page. Okay. Oh, is there other places that should add it by retention? Overall, is anything that's hard to that is a hard question to answer. Does my ramp work? Anything to fix? How should I put this contour in this area? Let's take a look at the contours first. This area, I think connection, it's lost once it connects here. So we'll need to fix that. We have 1110. 1111. Yeah, we're missing a few contours here. And we do have space, so it's can be fixed. So we need to close the 13 first. And then we'll need to think about 12 as our next one. Let me hide this. Ooh. 12, it's somewhere here. It's like I can't hide while I'm annotating. So 12 connected connection point, it should be in the middle. 13 doesn't change. 13 still is over here. 13 stays over here. Your curve can stop somewhere Oh, it needs to connect. Let's connect your road to the road here. Okay. You change to a different color. That would be the radius. That's the original road, right? If you want to enlarge that one, that's okay, but you're influencing the 12 here. Yeah. You don't have to. I mean, you can stop. Even if you want to do this, that's okay. But no, not 12 or 13, depending on which ones you still want to change. But I think you could move it to merge with the original road. The same thing here. That's the radius there. Okay. 13 will stay where it is. So starting from here, you can have double line. 12, thinking about 12. It's a little hard to avoid for the water to get into, for this water to get into, unless you turn the contour like that, right? But then that means actually the swell starts pretty early. Then the 11 would wrap around to connect down. So let me try to 13 again. 12. Oh, that's just 13. My 12 needs to start here. That's probably my 12, where my 12 needs to be. And then I'll need to figure out a way for it to connect over here. Connect over here. And overall, if I tilt that toward that direction and start the swell somewhere here, then you would be able to treat all this water. But I don't think it's a really big deal. Because it's clean water. It is some water, but it's hard. I mean, let's see how many, well, how much change we're suggesting. If it's too much, then I'll say let it go. This one would be 11 going up somewhere. That one should be this one. Okay. And then 10 goes up like this, coming down to 10 over here. That's the 10. And then you have your retention somewhere in the middle. 9 goes up like this. We're running a little out of space. So it will be something like this, coming down and then getting here. Your retention area is inside. You might need to do, okay, let's change that one. It's in the middle. So, yeah, that's in the middle, okay. So that's 10. 11, it's over here. Not sure this is helping much. This one, you need to drag this up a lot. Does that make sense? Drag that one up. And then this will be something like this. And then your swell would be down here. Coming down there, coming down there, coming down there. I can see that if we move these lines to this direction, you will have some more space here. So it's still it's doable. I think it's doable. Yeah, this is probably the way you want to go, but it does require you to do this area. Okay, that's that. let's take a look at the retention, number of retentions. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would add one more in the middle of here. Somewhere here. And you have one more there. Okay, here you have one. Yeah, I think you have enough. Well, at the bottom, yeah, the backyard, you do need more. Then let's look at the ramp then. Ramps. So 1107, 06, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 9, and 7, 6. We are getting down to, I think you have 2 more contours here. You only need to get down to 1097.6 here. Actually, this one is lower than 1097.6. Yeah. This one you would calculate based on the distance. So we're getting down to, likely this is 1097. Okay. If this is 1097, we have 2 more, I think we have 2 extra contours. So I'm down to 10, 9, and I only need an 8. Yeah, 8 needs to be somewhere hitting the wall there. And then 7, it's like yeah, like that. And your 7 would be sort of like this. Double check to see if you have enough space between these two. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, looks good. Yeah, okay. Sounds good. And then we'll zoom out and see. On this side, the 1097 needs to turn a bit more. We need a boundary line for your back plaza. It might be like this. I don't know. Where are you thinking about, like this? Okay, so if that's the one, then 7, you could have 7 actually hit this wall. And that way instead. Okay. Yeah. 8 might not be, these contours you could try. I think they can be moved less. Okay, so those are some of the bigger questions. You have a ramp here. Whenever the ramp, you remove a curb, remove that double line, okay? Double line there. Ramp is over here. I honestly think the ramp location is a little weird because this is where you put people down, right? Once you have your car turned, this would be a corner that is actually going to these, the car wouldn't, when the car turns, you have a space somewhere there that is not frequently used. Honestly, when you turn and then put people down, it's a little, the more intuitive location is actually here. Yeah, you could move that one over to the side. This location works fine. The ADA is over here, so they're going to walk over. That's fine. You could actually put ADA somewhere. Oh, you have here. If your ramp is over here, I think your ADA would be, it would be better if your ADA is there. Yeah. Okay. You have a lot of your spot elevations already. 4, 5. In terms of hierarchy, I think the curb cut it's a little too strong. Some of the curb lines are a little too heavy, and yeah, your contour around the bioretention. Yeah, some of the line hierarchies can be improved. LPS, you wouldn't have an LPS in this case. You would end your swell center line when it gets into the retention. Yeah. Okay. Stairs, no, definitely need top of stair, bottom of stair. Too many steps for one flight of the stairs. There are locations where you're missing spot elevations, is where the slope starts to change. Okay. No steps in front of the building because this one is supposed to be an ADA one. So it's actually these areas that it's easy to forget to have spot elevations when the swell center line or the ridge line hits a pavement. That's where slope changes. So those are places where you should have spot elevation. And slope arrows need to be marked perpendicular to the contour. I think those are the things that I can see, from this distance, because I didn't zoom into the individual bioretention yet, but it was you're getting close. Okay. Okay. For this, you only need to keep this. Okay. You could curve the contour like that, so you have a retention in this area. Yeah. You only need to keep the curb elevations because those are dependent on the parking lot. Okay. All right. Move forward then. Is Sarah here? The other Sarah? Sarah H?
I'm on Zoom. Hi.
Not
Hello.
here.
I am here.
Oh, yeah. Let me see if can you please unmute and try to see the speaker? It's working?
Can you hear me?
You are talking, but we are not hearing. Let me see.
So strange.
You try again?
Hello.
Oh, good. Yeah, we have it.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay. Divergent swell. The ramp, if you are designing for it to be 5%, you do not need a landing after every 30 feet. Okay. Should I add more retention on the outside, as should be your retention right now? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You definitely need more. Okay. You would need more on this side. And then at the end of so for your, it's probably hard. Well, you can have one small one that's clean and the other one that is connected to the drop-off area. So that's a dirty one. And then we would need retention here, there in the middle of at the divergence well. One more at the end of the plaza, and something at the back of the back plaza. This one looks like it's on the ridge, so that one it's more of it's hard to make it into unless you have roof water that's directed into it. Otherwise, it's on the high elevation, not receiving water from other places.
I wanted to make that one rainwater or roof water.
Okay, roof water. Okay. So these are the ones that I would, no, depending on, it's actually very similar for, the example that that's uploaded on Canvas. So whenever you have a contour, your retention area would be tucked into the contour, so they're about 1 feet apart in elevation difference. So there's one there's one there. You also have water coming down this way, so it'll be good to have another one. It's actually in between here and then in between there. This one is the bottom one. Okay, so it actually, you integrate it into your contour pattern. So this one you would do this, and then for that one you would do that. And then your swell basically would just go through like this. Oh, want to do this. Your swell would basically do that. Okay. I probably missed one contour at the end. So this one will be in the middle. We'll actually start from here. Start from here, and then that's the last contour. And I'll move the blue inside to in between. So that's the retention that's necessary on the lower side. Again, the example given to you on the divergence swell, this is actually very good. Use this one to guide how the relationship between your retention and your contours should be. Okay.
Right. I guess what I struggled with was making my swale go in the or making my contours go in that direction. I feel like mine are going in the opposite direction. And
yeah, take a screenshot, and this the one that I drew is it should be the relative location. You need to measure for it to be more accurate. But the contour direction you could follow what I marked up.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So that's the divergence swale. Well, we do need to fix the ramp.
Okay.
For the contours on the ramp to be 5 feet apart. Okay. No need to have landings if you are designing it for 5%. I think those are the general answers to your questions. Do you want me to go in detail in some areas?
If you can, that would be helpful. Or
for which area specifically?
Actually, I guess I had a question. So I feel like there's a couple of things wrong with my design right now. Actually, I guess I'll ask you this at the end. Can I ask you at the end of class or like after you're done?
Okay. So there are some you need to fix your contours first before moving forward. All right. So we talked about before that these contours actually you don't have to, because you don't have to cut through all these contours and then, for instance, the 10 here, it will make it harder actually to connect to the other 10. Honestly, probably impossible. You only need to protect the trees up until the only portion that is going to need to be connected is up until the 13. Okay. Now these 12 or the 12, you're actually connecting to your parking lot contours. Right. So it's important for you to fix the contours in this area first. Otherwise, you won't be able to continue working on your retention and your divergence well. Okay. They basically should look like this. They basically should look like this.
Mhm.
Well, I'm probably I probably dragged it up too much. Let's see. That's your next one. And then you would have your retention in this area, retention in this area. You can connect them. Okay, this is a one that would be sort of this shape.
Mhm.
Sort of this shape.
Mhm.
And then you basically drag it up until this point.
Mhm.
That's your swale. Drag it up until once the tip goes beyond the boundary of the bioretention contour.
Mhm.
And then you have your swale line continue going down like this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So start with this line. Okay. Start with that line. That help you identify where your retention area needs to be. That's your retention area. Okay. And then start connecting this, drag that up beyond the bioretention boundary. And then you can make small adjustment to make the slope uniform, at least for this portion. Okay.
Okay.
Sarah, I have to say you've got a lot of work to do. I think it's better for me to mention, to send this reminder out, because I know this week is also, everybody has a lot of other deadlines. So you would want to do a little bit of planning. Okay, do a little bit of planning to see which time you can allocate and how much time you should allocate to work on this. I see, retention needs to be done, contours needs to be revised, and ramp needs to be done. Spot elevations needs to be added. Regional calculations need to be reviewed to see if they still hold true or hold correct. Ramps needs to be done, right? So yeah, hopefully, if you need any advice on how do I plan out my time to make sure that I hit the important points, we can talk after I got through reviewing other folks' work. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Jake. Ooh. This contour makes sense. Parking lot regraded at a character without honest cuts good. These annotations too cluttered. A little bit. I would make your parking space shading very light, so that like the hatches. Yeah, I would make it very light, because that's currently the thing that is actually conflicting and popping out before you're out of spot elevations. So far, I would say they could be tightened up a little bit, but I think that locations, they actually work. They're not interfering with much of else. So I wouldn't think that you need to substantially kind of rearrange things. They look fine to me, but the shading is the thing that really popped out and saying, oh, this is too dark, and you don't need to make them too dark. Some things like this parking space shading being too, that's half of the parking space, or the size looks changing constantly, kind of. So if you have small, let's see, where's my share? Oh, I didn't share it. So your shading. So for instance, if I have 3 spaces as my ADA, I would shade out the entire middle one. And add a dividing line there because this is a shared space shared by 2 parking spaces. I wouldn't have one over here and then one over the other way. Then I will. It feels this one is half of parking space, that's half, but this one is a whole and this one is a whole. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh, you actually have 6. Oh. Okay. Okay, that's why. Okay, then that's my misunderstanding. I didn't know that you actually have 6 parking spaces that are ADA. Okay, sounds fine. That contour doesn't look right because I am crossing, unless there's a ramp here. Is there a ramp there? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, sure. If that's the case, you would start with somewhere here, right? Because I sort of flow into this area without a slope. This is an extension of my parking lot. And then I start climbing a ramp to the plaza. Totally works. Okay, that works. Right? So this is that's your bottom ramp, that's your bottom ramp, and that's your top of ramp. Okay. And then what you need to do is actually making walls. These should be walls because the outside is higher than the inside. Up until the end of your, once you get to the top of the ramp, then you don't need the wall anymore. You can start the single line. And then it makes sense because this contour will hit the curve, right? That's another curve sort of feature. And that's in the middle. So that connection point is correct. Yeah. You don't need this line in the middle. You can just have this and then start connecting out there. You know, folks will understand this actually goes along in the inside and then come over and do that. Okay. That's how you do this part. Yes. Yes. Yeah. The same. Okay. Should there be ramps on sidewalks and best way to calculate? Are these the same question? Okay, cool. Still confused on ramp redesigns suggested in interim. Wouldn't an extension of ramp push contours beyond the work boundary they currently reside in? Is this the line that was the original line? Oh, make it longer? Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. 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 So, well, let's work one more time on this. Okay. So we have 1109.39. This is 1109, and we're looking for 8. I might need to zoom out just a little bit so that I can see the contour. Okay. Let's do the thick one. So that's the 8. And 7, 6, 5, 4. Oh, you have a changed. Okay. You have a revised one. So we'll do this, that, this, and maybe this one, that one, this one, that one. Okay, let's see where we are in terms of elevations. So this is 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 99. The bottom is 99.39. Yeah, it's about 99. So we have enough space. We can even move this down. Spread it out a little bit. Oh, that's okay. You get the idea. Okay, now we start connecting. My 9 is here. My 8 can be somewhere here. You could end your swell sooner than that. So, or you could have a little bit of retention somewhere just there. And then move that one around it. Okay, now my 7 goes directly here. And then come down. You can even drag it up a little bit. So I don't use as much wall. I'm going for 6 now. 6 can go here. Then that. 5. 5 goes this. And then up like this. 4. Three is somewhere here. You could have a little bit of a wall if you decide that I can go along the wall and then go 3. Okay, just a pretty short one. And 2. If you want to, you can even have the wall heating like this and then continue to the wall over there. 2. 1 could do the same thing. Fit in the wall. Continue. And 0 can start wrapping around. Like that. 99 in here. Like this. Okay, 98 is somewhere here. So you do need to keep moving things. I'm getting close to 99, but not sure. So 98 is still out of the, okay, 98 goes, that's 5. Yeah, we still need to keep moving these contours and we don't have a lot of space. So the quick solution is having more contours attached to that one. What's the slope over here in this range? Yeah, we're getting pretty close to 25. So let's basically use a little bit more, a longer wall to attach up until I would hope that, well, we would get back to original contours by 97. So you could try. The other way would be you kind of zigzag around for one more time. Yeah, it doesn't look like a great solution because you need to zigzag it for 2 times. Now, the reason is our ramp is kind of getting into that space for a pretty large. That's why you keep moving the contours on that side. And if we can keep the footprint of the ramp over to the side, then you would have a better chance or easier to connect. But if we zigzag for multiple times, unless what we do is we start from here, you know, then it might be a little easier. But that's not a great solution either. So we want to start from here. Yeah, you'd need 4 segments, and that complicates things. So nope, not doing that. I would still go back to the wall idea. Yeah, around 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Even if you need to go to 99, I think that's okay, because your 1110 is over here. So if your 1110 can go roughly around this area, if your 1100 can hit the wall like this, then you can expect that I'm only needing to move just a little bit of the rest of the contours. Okay. Yeah, having 110 attached to this wall, and then having the 199 attached to that wall, maybe. Yeah, we'll have to see how long this wall. The wall needs to be 4 foot apart, 4 foot apart, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you have about 25 foot length of the wall, you will be able to attach these contours at about 20% slope. Yeah, and that's probably the least that you need. Okay. All right, that's the ramp. And then we'll take a look at these areas. What is this? So is this about the retention? Yeah, you can put a retention here. If you have a retention here, I think it's okay if you don't have retention. It's the best if you have it here. So make sure that if I have a pollution on my plaza, that one captures it, right? If I have something over here, something happens there, then it doesn't get into the cell. So I think it's okay if you don't have that one, but add that one. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. On the plaza itself, you would force interaction with them, so that's a better social benefit. But yours at the edge of the plaza wouldn't be too far away. Still, folks needs to come over around this place to get to the ramp. So I think it's comparable. Okay, so that's why the same comment with that one. Relatively, you have smaller paved area. So even if you cut through, if you draw the capture area, it's pretty small. Unless you use a train somewhere and collect them all and put it into there. Okay. The direct drainage area for this circle, those circles are pretty small. Okay, so those are the purple lines. This area, we can take a look at that one. Still unsure about grading that area. Okay, we have 1113. I need to, that's 13. The 13 goes back to somewhere. I need to find 13. Yeah, 13 kind of goes here. And then I have 12 here. 12 goes out here. The other 13 needs to go kind of connecting back to here. That's your other 13. And then you could connect over here and then come back to there. And that's your 13. go out here to the 13. Does that make sense? Yeah. No, this area wouldn't, this area will be twisted. Yeah. If you want it to be relatively, well, the 14 is over here, right? So if you want to keep your 14 here, no, the distance here might not be, you might want to even do this. So it's a gradual transition over. And this one will be short. Okay. Yeah, you would measure this. Yeah, measure that one. That's your maximum slope. You label max. Label this max. Okay. That's your max slope. All right. Best way to find CCs at same elevation. I wouldn't worry too much about those because they are relatively, they are at about the same elevation. If they are, for instance, over half foot apart, then I'd be a little concerned because then you would actually unnecessarily for one of them either dig it too deep or having a pretty high burn, right? If they're around the same elevation, I would leave it be. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, as long as you use the lowest curve cut to guide what your RDI elevation will be. Okay. Okay, so that's that question. And see, I think we went through all of these. Okay, let's see. Divergent Swaster doesn't make sense. Okay. So your retention will be in this area, right? You don't have to modify the contours that dramatically. You only need to have it somewhere here. Okay, so that's then that would help you make this area less, or the swell less steep. So you can see your design, it has a pretty steep side slope, right? If we pull back a little bit, you will have a less steep side slope for these. Then I would also outline that one, and then the blue sort of get above this. That's your retention. And then I will just drag that up as that's 11, I think. I think that's 11. You actually would have enough space here. You don't really need a wall. Yeah, I definitely think you have enough space. You can see that that much space. You wouldn't, I would expect that you can remove the wall. Then the next one would be if you want to include one more here, you're welcome to do so. So you have one more. Oh, I think this is pretty small, so maybe not. You have a pretty small drainage area kind of before it gets down here. So I think you can start somewhere here. Okay. Having a curb cut at the higher elevation instead of the lower elevation, because having it at the higher elevation, you don't have to dig so deep. Okay? If you have it at the lower elevation, your curb cut, the water entrance is pretty low. Can you see that? No, the higher end, you would dig pretty deep. No, and that's not better than having a higher curb cut and then having a more shallower depression. Okay. Keep going. We would have one more here. And you would have your, this is not a, so you keep going like this and then wrap it around, because these are evenly spaced contours. you can even expect that I would have a 2% swell center line there. Can you see that? No corresponding relationship. You know, so it could be right up at 2% there. Then once we get after the 1109, 08 is, that's 08. So that is, this is 10, that's 9. Okay, 9 actually connects back over here, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's your 10 and that's your 11. I think I'm right. Yeah, this is 9. 9, it's connecting to this one, and I'm looking for 8. Your 8 could be very gentle now. So my 8 actually needs to come up to somewhere here. I have a retention somewhere there, right? And then my 8, likely it's going to be on the lower side of the retention, and then it just hits the wall. So basically your swell ends somewhere here. That makes sense? Mm-hmm. The swell here. This one, we don't need swell anymore. We could basically do this. Yeah, yes. Yeah, and the swell somewhere here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then this one, basically that's the last one. I'll change back to my purple pink. This one is the last one, and then that's the 12. 12 goes to this line. And then I cut this off, and then I'm done. Okay? Yeah, we don't need the wall. Okay, I'll clear this. Yeah, I think I addressed that one. Anything else? Yeah, well, you're also getting pretty close. Keep it up, and then you're getting there. Right. Barry, I know that you're online. Okay, can you unmute to let me know you're here? All right. I see that. So, I just demonstrated for other folks how to find this well. What I would actually do is I would just do the parallel thing, right? Do the parallel thing, so that helps me know where the swell or the retention needs to be, right? No, then I would just draw something in between. That is my swell there. Oh no, by retention there. This is my retention there. And once I get down to here, it's the same thing. We still change this direction there, okay? We talked about last time, this location is probably more like this, the contour of the first contour on the plaza. So that helps you scope out, okay, my retention would be about that big. And after that, I will basically extend this and drag it up in a V shape, right? Up until this way, drag it up. Oh, sorry, I need a little more space for the other one. So I will move that over to here. Okay, move this over, delete that one. Now just redraw that connection there. And for this one, same thing. I will curve a little bit and then up until I get to the boundary of the retention, like this, right? Now I shaped my swell. Okay, well, I don't know if you have another one. Probably not. No, you're off parking lot already. So your swell would be like this. Does that make sense? Yeah, I cannot hear you, but let me know. Give me a shout out if you need additional help on that one. Okay, so that's the swale question. Anything else that you would like to go through? Some reason we cannot hear you. If you can also type to let me know. So quickly, some things we need to fix is contours in this area, contours in that area. We need to work on the ramp, adding more retention on this side. As you just asked, no, adding retention on this side. Well, I see that you have one more there, so that's this one. You have one here, that's good. We need to add one more. Nope, I think we can start just from this side because there's not much pavement. And I see you have retention over here. You need one more down here, which is hard because you don't have space there. What you could do is to, have a connection. You dug up a connection somewhere here, and then direct that over to this area where you have relatively more flatter space. So that one is necessary, and this one is necessary. You can also design this one. This is actually a good area for retention. This one is less so because it's high, right? These can also be retention because you still have some water coming into, not a whole lot. So but I think you designed a lot of sidewalks around here, so that's okay because you.
But if I was to put one in the middle, would I just take out that sidewalk?
Yeah. It's okay. You don't need to add it because, this is a very small drainage area in the middle. You have one more at the end and then that's good. Okay, so don't need to add retention in the middle of the island.
Mm.
So let me double check. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And okay, backyard. Back plaza needs some. And then I think, yeah, these are the locations that I would add. Okay.
Okay. Yep. Also, with the way that the contour would move, it would be like a fire retention area, like right next to the one that I have at the corner at the ADA parking spot. Would I just combine those to
okay.
make it one big one, or do I?
It's okay because you have the sidewalks over, right?
Yeah. Yes.
What you need when you add ramps, I would say your ramp will be in the middle.
Okay.
And folks can walk from here. But you do need more ramps in that case. So what you could do, okay. What you could do is, let me raise this area. I'll zoom in. Zoom in, please. Okay. So if you have your ADA here, is actually easier if you have your folks walk on this area. And then having a bridge kind of cutting through like this.
Mhm.
So your retention will be, no, this is a bridge. The retention is still underneath.
Okay.
But folks would walk up to the platform, and then this will all be at the same level at the sidewalk. And there is then the ramp. You probably have seen these at the grocery stores.
Yeah.
So this is elevated sidewalk. No curb, only one line here because they're at the same level, right? These
Yeah.
are at the same level. But then your slope is actually here. So you would have a slope, only the vehicles. No, that's your ramp. And then the ramp goes down like this and then goes down like that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's, you could design it like this. You don't need this many. You can just keep these 4 ADA parking spaces. So you don't have to worry about these people getting up. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
One thing we do need is to add one more ramp for whoever that doesn't go up here. You don't limit people to be on tier and then go there, right? So
Okay.
I would still add one more ramp somewhere here so that they don't have to go through this.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Anything else?
Uh, oh, I think the other thing is for the landing on the stairs, is it okay to just have them on the curve like I have? I mean, not stairs, the ramps. Like I
Um,
have the landing directly at the pretty much where it curves at.
can you annotate to let me know which? So this would be a stair, right? This
All right,
looks
so
like stairs.
this side is a ramp, like these are ramps here. These are the stairs. And the inside, and I have like the
You don't
landing
need 2
right there.
ramps. Yeah, you don't need 2 ramps. So only 1 ramp. If you want to combine your stairs with your ramp, that's fine. And then that means you don't need this area, okay?
Okay.
1 step and 1 ramp, they can be alongside each other. But realize that did we talk about this area? I think we did. I remember we did talk about this.
We did. I didn't,
If we
I
go
forgot to do
down,
that.
yeah, you actually have a drop, right? If I
Yes.
draw a cross section, this is the plaza surface. It's going down and then go up a little bit because that's a swell, right? And
Yes.
your ramp is actually going to be going down at a faster or a steeper slope. It's going down like this. So you actually have a drop. You have a drop along this line because your plaza is higher than your ramp. So that means you would have a waterfall over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't recommend doing that. I think if you want a ramp, you can go around like this.
Just go.
Okay, you can go around like this. So when I'm going down, I'm away. So the surface between my ramp and my plaza can still be sloped without a drop.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So if I
Yeah.
go around like that, would I just shrink that retaining wall to not block it?
You can, yeah, if that's the case, your retaining wall of your stairs would still look like this. Okay, that's still your retaining wall. And your ramp will be attached to the retaining wall. Oh, no, sorry, that's not. The contour will be attached, but your ramp would actually go go down to somewhere. You don't necessarily have to have such a long, I think your stairs, definitely you can go down by 10 foot just using that much distance.
Okay.
So your ramp the wall can stop somewhere here, and your ramp can go down and connect to, let me change a color. So you could go down somewhere here and then merge into your plaza.
All
And
right.
then that's your ramp. And you
Okay.
just need to make it 200 feet in total.
200 feet.
Okay.
Got it. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Other things?
I think that's all for right now.
Yeah, well, I will be here. Okay, I will be here until the end of the class. If anybody made progress, let me know. Okay, I am going to talk to the last student. Then, hey, Logan. Okay, good. Lots of questions. To my attention, look correct. Little triangle area, correct. Make this retention area with no contours. You would have a contour just because you're creating a depression. Yes, you could. Mhm. You could, you could extend it over. Yeah, yeah, if you want to make it large. And it looks like it's so you have curve all the way around. That makes sense because the curve kind of would prevent overspill on the other side. But I can zoom in later on. Still very confused on ramp. Should I start over? At this point, I would actually recommend that of the without the so many walls. Now, otherwise you'll be stuck with calculating all the walls. Okay. This is what the retention area will look like from the back plaza. Looks like they're reasonable, but we can zoom in again. Does this divergence well look correct? Yes. No, divergence well looks relatively. So it does. It functions. I would still have to look at the spot elevations on the bioretention to know if they are calculated correctly, but the shape of the swell makes sense. No, that little circle is probably not worth it to create another retention. You have a lot of retention upstream. And this one and that one and this, and oh, you do need to connect the end. So the end is the lowest point of the drop-off area needs to be treated, right? It's not a DI kind of situation. So you would basically extend this retention over to be connected to the DI, the lowest point of the drop-off. At this point, I wouldn't recommend. Well, you still have some space that you could do a retention here and another retention over there. It's still doable. Basically, adding one more. Move the location. Let's see. So what you would do is I would have a smaller one over here, and then that one needs to touch the DI over there. Okay, so that one is connected to this, and this one goes into there. Yes. No, it will only Well, it takes a little bit of the water from the plaza, but mostly it receives water from the Gulf. Yes, yeah, that's correct. Yes. Yes, you can. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at your divergence well. Just wow, what happened? Oh. So if your curve cut over here is 109.32, LP is that's good. And then this is your one. Remember to label. Remember to label your retention contours. Okay, so this is your 109 contour. Another one, right? And then this is the 109 again. So these elevations are all correct. Okay, these are all correct. So that's really good. I would suggest smoothing out the shape of your contours. Okay, so they don't now even if you are trying to create the wiggly shape, the contractors wouldn't be able to pick up that nuance differences. Yeah, so it's easier if it's a smoother and more organic shape. This one is okay, but I think you can have a bigger one, right? Now, if you have that much space, you could actually have a bigger one. Yeah. Okay. All right. Overall, I think overall contours, you can make them, you can make the spline or the P line smoother. Not sure what this line is though. Is that a leftover line? Yeah. Oh, the curve. Okay. Yeah. Remember to get rid of that. And then extend it over and do the rounding on this corner. Okay. Okay, we'll zoom back out to the other areas. So let's check. Let's check this little drainage area, little triangle area, correct. Okay. So you can have curb cuts here, but the more important thing is actually to have curb cut at the end, right? That's that corner. So you can have this one there. You can have another one that's a CC/DI. That's a lower elevation. So you use that low elevation to design your LP and RDM. Yeah. Yes, it's okay. Yeah, that's okay. But the design of the water elevation has to be based on the lower one, because otherwise it will flow out from the lower one. Okay. The other thing is I would actually suggest, because these are kind of at the similar elevations, you could do one big one at this location. Okay, you can have curb cut, but this one is the lower one. It just means though for this unit you have three entrances for the water. Okay. Now we'll look at that one. So your curb cut, it's around 105. And your LP, you actually don't have a contour there, right? You don't have to have a contour there. You can have a 105 there, but let's see. 104.52. Yeah, you can have a 105 inside, just inside there. Yes. Yeah. Because you have curb all the way around. And your LP is 104.52. And on the other side, it really depends on what elevation here is, right? Because we're so I have a curve and then I have another curve over. And my LP, so the curve here is 105.5. My curve cut down here is 105. And on the other side, if it's so I do need to know at the lower side what this elevation is. If this elevation is 105, then I need a little bit of burn, right? But if my LP is 1104 and my water is it's just that elevation, then I don't need the burn. My curve is my burn. Oh, well, I didn't draw it very well. So that is down here. This is like this. So it might be that I need to lower my water down low. Then I don't need a burn. But no, lower it down sort of I have to be at least 1104.75 here. Otherwise, it's so easily it will just get over, right? So then you would have a contour that is actually the inside of the curve. That's a 105 contour, and then you actually don't need to draw that one, if that's the case. Yeah. No, you don't need to do it. I don't suggest you make any changes here. They look fine to me. I honestly think, it's better if you have a little berm. For now, you have a little berm like this. And this is 105.5, which is actually good. And your RDI is 104.82, which means it's somewhere here. Somewhere here. You can keep those elevations. Those are all reasonable elevations. I wouldn't change the thing. Yeah. I think current design works fine. Oh, okay. Let's see. Did I address everything? I think so. Okay, let's look at this. So your bottom 96.6. Yeah, this works. This works. Same thing. I would smooth out the boundaries of the contour, but then that's it. That's 1096 contour. Yes. You would split it out in two, and then the exact same design. So it captures most of the area. So you would do one here, and then do another there. Same design. Okay. If it's a little bit of a gap here, that's okay. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Here. Here. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. The 1106, I wouldn't put it here because that's the plaza space. Oh, okay. Okay. So if you cut out the you're still calculating the elevation based on that. If my curve cut is over here, then I'm slightly below 106. So I'm at 5.85, for instance. You just use that as your water entrance elevation. Okay. And then you don't need an RDI in this case because water will keep flowing down. And then you would just say your bottom, your LP would be 104.85. Drop by 1 point. Okay. Okay, let's take another look. You have all these here. And you have all these there. One more here, one more there. One little there. At the end, everything is going down. Okay. This one. The lowest point here, you need one. That makes sense, because the water will eventually all come down like this direction from the drop off. Okay, let's zoom in. Oh, yeah. There is one more here. The contours here are a little bit of 5 goes down there, 6 goes there, 7. Oh, and these are all connected perfectly. That one, yeah. Oh, this one, I would say it's a little. So if you look at this, and then if you look at that one, this area is too flat. So the 7 needs to go like this. Okay. That. And then 6 would go, well, I'll probably do something like that. And then my 6 would go same thing. Connecting to, that's my 5. Is that my 5? Yeah, that's my 5. Okay, 5 will need to go that way and then cut it off. Otherwise, this area is too flat. Okay, so that's that. And then I'm gonna clear and then we'll move down. So my 5 goes like this, connecting there, and then another 5, and then my 4